HMA Fantasy Wrestling brings you the Best of the Decade Dual Tournament, based off of Flow Wrestling Radio Live's recent series on individual athletes. This new project brings together wrestling minds from all over the country to decide which college wrestling team can claim the title of the best team of the decade. Prepare for pandemonium, excitement, and of course, entertainment.
Especially considering that Jordan Burroughs steps on a landmine and really goes out there to wrestle. And then that's it.
The rules are simple. Each college team gets to draft an all-star lineup based off of the last 10 years of competition. Once each team is settled, the HMA crew assigns different teams to the sport's greatest minds to vote on each match in the event for the entertaining series. Each host has one landmine to use in a round. Similar to FRL, a landmine can wreck all votes from the community and the other hosts. A landmine is used on an individual match, and it's the only place you can get bonus points for your team. The next episode of HMA Fantasy Wrestling is here. Let's let it roll.
What's up, everybody? We are back with the next episode of the HMA Fantasy Wrestling Podcast. I am joined here today by a host of guests. We had a little bit of trouble getting started, but we are here finally, and we have Mr. Jude Swisher as always. How you doing, Jude?
Excellent. I'm doing fantastic.
Cool. Sam Herring?
I'm doing great as well. I'm really excited to get going. We've been chopping down trees for the last couple of days, so I've been pretty busy, but I'm ready to take a break and talk some wrestling.
Sam, literally chop wood, carry water?
Literally chop wood, not carry water. When we're thirsty, we carry water.
We also have two other guests. We got Mr. Jack Mueller. How you doing, Jack?
Doing all right.
All right. And then our final guest for the show tonight, Mr. Jordan Conaway. How you doing, Jordan?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're stoked to get jumping into this episode because up till now we've had a lot of really good matches. They've gotten better and better each round. We're down to the semifinals now, so the great matches that we had are going to get even better. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw it up here in a second. Sam, give me screen sharing privileges, and I'll throw the bracket up
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to talk some wrestling. So, Jordan, have you ever been on a podcast or done anything like this before?
No, this is first podcast for me. I do some streaming, but that's about it.
Some streaming, dude. Lots of streaming.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So what all do you stream again?
I stream mostly first-person shooters like Fortnite, which is technically not first-person, but shooters in general, basically. So.
Very cool. Jack, what jersey are you wearing?
So this is like a short sleeve hoodie for Titan Mercury. So I broke my foot in the middle of the year last year and couldn't compete at senior nationals, but they hooked me up with some gear. So
Nice.
I'll rep it.
Speaking of gear, shout out to my man Steve Stinson with the S&S company. They sent me a nice care package today. I got the hat on, I got the shirt. He produces all sorts of clothing and posters and graphic design stuff. So if you are looking for that, you know where to go. So thank you to the S&S company.
Yeah, and I mean, while we're shouting stuff like that out, obviously, guys, if you found us, you probably know where to find us. But we are HMAWrestling.com. You can follow us on all the social medias, HMA Wrestling. All of our individual accounts if you want to. And if you get a second, if you will feel like it and you like it, go ahead, go to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rate and review. We would love to see that and hear what you guys think of us. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into this thing. So the bracket, like we talked about, if you're watching this live, then you can see our bracket. And if you're not watching it live, you can go to YouTube, HMA Wrestling, and find it. And so you can see what we're talking about. But the bracket in front of us, like I said, we're down to the semifinals. We had a bunch of good matches. But the only blank that we had through the tournament was Penn State over Lehigh. Ohio State got really close though, but had to throw a landmine in there for my man Brayton Lee. But I mean, this is going to be a good one. I'm excited about this one because looking at it before, I really thought it was going to go pretty chalk. But Wisconsin, man, they had a run, and I mean, obviously, having Seth on here definitely probably sways it a little bit towards Wisconsin. And he has some really well-placed landmines, and I even I had a guy kind of talking to me on Facebook. I wouldn't say arguing, but just kind of talking about how he didn't think it was real that Andrew Howe could never stick Kyle Dake. What are y'all's opinions on that? I don't think it's likely, but people get caught sometimes.
Especially a guy like Andrew Howe. Like the way he described it as a bear hug, man, that could definitely happen. Just sucked him down and sticks him. We've never seen Kyle Dake get pinned, really, not that I can think of, just because he's that good of a wrestler. But, I think he definitely could, especially against a guy like Andrew Howe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, you say whatever you want, man, but Andrew Howe has the ability to throw anybody on this planet on his back. I mean, you stare into that man's eyes, I would want to lay down personally. So, but I'm not Kyle Dake, so that's an argument for Kyle Dake. But either way we look at it, Wisconsin, couple of upsets, got to the semifinals, and we are ready to set up Penn State versus Wisconsin. You guys ready to do this thing?
Dude, so ready.
Heck yeah. All right, so I keep going backwards, man. Anyways, let's jump right into this thing, and we'll get started by just kind of going through the lineups.
If you wouldn't mind, we've had a lineup change, and we need you to reset the screen share and do it again.
All right.
Or at least just refresh the page or something like that. But Seth Gross had a last minute change up for the Wisconsin Badgers, so we gotta get that in there.
All right. Oh man. I'm interested to see what it is.
That's in the game.
All right. How about while that's happening, I will give you guys the rundown on the number 1 Penn State Nittany Lions lineup. So starting off, 125 pounds, we got Nico Megaludis, 133, Roman Bravo Young, 141, Nick Lee, 149, Zane Rutherford, 157, Jason Nolf, 165, David Taylor, 174, Mark Hall, 184, Ed Ruth, 197, Bo Nickel or Quentin Wright, and 285, Anthony Kassar. And this team is looking pretty filthy, guys. It's looking pretty filthy.
Yeah, there's no holes in that team for sure. Goodness gracious.
It's rough, dude. It's rough. Jacob.
Yeah.
How's it coming?
Good, man. I got it right here.
All right, yank that sucker up.
All right, so our last minute lineup change was at 133. Looks like Seth chose to sit himself. Oh, no. He bumped himself up. That's even more fun. All right, well, who put the Wisconsin lineup together?
Sam
did.
Sam, tell us about it.
Seth Gross. So 125, you got Ryan Taylor up to Tyler Graff, then Seth Gross. That was where the lineup change took place. Seth Gross replaced Tristan Moran. Tyler Graff replaced Seth Gross. Moving up, you got Kyle Rochelle, Isaac Jordan, Andrew Howe, Ryan Christiansen. We got 2 guys weighing in today for Wisconsin at 184. You got Travis Rutt and Ricky Robertson. Up at 97, Trevor Branwell. And at heavyweight, 2 guys weighing in again, Connor Medbury and Trent Hilger. So solid lineup for the Badgers.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and then Sam, since you are the lower seeded team, tell us where are we going to be starting this duel?
All right, so because Seth wasn't here, I had to put some thought into this, and I think in order for us to get the best go and our best draw, I think we should start at heavyweight.
Okay. Well.
Heck yeah.
Right, let's get this guy rolling. So, Jordan, if you would you tell us a little bit about Anthony Kassar?
Anthony Kassar. All right. So, I mean, if you're gonna ask for my pick, obviously I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be picking probably Penn State guys, but
Nice.
I mean, he's had a pretty crazy career, coming off a couple injuries that he's had, and I remember he was cutting a decent amount of weight when he wrestled off Shakur, and the next year he's wrestling heavyweight and he's huge. So he just kind of had a, great off season, got big enough for heavyweight, and he healed up and all the injuries were kind of in the past and he did really well. So, I mean, definitely gonna go with Kassar on this one, but he, I just thought it's crazy that he's wrestling 197 or whatever and just goes right up to 285 and he's not small,
Right. And same with like, if you remember, Shakur wrestled like 165.
Yeah, he did
1 year. So both of them, they both like just gained a ton of weight. So that was kind of cool how that sorted out.
I think the real question here is, Jordan, is Anthony Kassar your wrestling partner in the room?
Oh, every now and then. Yeah. if he wants someone quick, you know what I mean? He goes with me.
Nice.
Hey, awesome. All right, Sam, who the Badgers got?
All right, so this one, it really wasn't too hard. We're going to throw out Connor Medbury. Trent Hilger has losses to Anthony Kassar, and Medbury's the better wrestler here for this duel. Came into this, Hilger was a little bit banged up, so our only option was Connor Medbury.
Geez.
All
right. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Medbury?
Sure, man. Connor Medbury was an NCAA finalist against Kyle Snyder. In that season, his only loss was to Kyle Snyder. I think that was was that the 2017 season?
I think you're right, because 2016 he got.
Yeah, so he was ranked second that whole year. He's an All-American a bunch of years, 2015, 16, and 17. I think he was an All-American. And yeah, I think he's an incredible heavyweight. Obviously, Anthony Kassar has that national title under his belt, but he did not wrestle with Kyle Snyder, so.
He wrestled with Gable Steveson.
That is not Kyle Snyder.
Sam, I'm taking issue with this, man. Trent Hilger is spelled with 2 L's. I had it in here correctly, and you changed it back.
Nice.
I did not change it. Back.
I'm changing it. It's gonna
let it be. Let it be.
Nope, not letting it be. I'm nothing if not.
I definitely didn't go back and change it though. Studious. I might have put it in there wrong earlier, but I didn't go back.
All right. Well, hey, let's start off. We'll kick it to Jack Mueller. Jack, who do you see taking this first bout in this semifinal tournament?
Medbury. I think he'd be a national champ if he didn't, have Kyle Snyder in his weight class that year. Just really good results all around, solid wrestler. I mean, without Kyle in the weight, he's undefeated NCAA champ. And then multiple time All-American, big wins over Bobby Telford and other really good guys. I just think that he's a solid wrestler, and I think that this is a spot where Wisconsin can win.
I'm right there behind you. I think that's the way it's going to go. Anthony Kassar, while he's an amazing wrestler, his peak only has about 1 year, really. His senior season, I guess, I don't know what you would call that. First senior season was his peak year. Gable Stevenson's an incredible wrestler, but freshman Gable Stevenson does not match up to the kind of competition that Medbury had. And I'm going to follow suit with Jack and go Trent Hilger for the win.
I'm going to go with Anthony Kassar because if I remember correctly, Connor Medbury was not the most athletic heavyweight, correct? He's not the most, no. He was a big guy. We've seen Anthony Kassar outmaneuver and outmuscle even massive heavyweights.
And we've seen Connor Medbury do the same to really quick and athletic heavyweights.
I think in this match that Anthony Kassar would get – I think he'd get to the legs, but I think he would get at least one big blast double, maybe for a 4, maybe for a 2-2. Get 2 backs.
Wow.
Dude, I think the champ is here, and I'm picking Anthony Kassar.
Goodness gracious, man.
Wow. All right, so are we down to me? Is that it?
No, we got Jordan, man.
Oh, wow. Cool. I'm happy I'm not the final pick. Jordan, well, Jordan, let's hear from you.
I mean, I think I'm going to use my landmine on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with that. I'm looking at the lineup, and I think this is a good time to use it.
Starting off with a bang.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens? Walk us through the match.
Oh boy. Huh. I mean, there's gonna be no pins. I know that. Okay. I think Kassar gets the first takedown, quick escape. First period's over. Second period, he goes down, gets out, gets taken down. Make it interesting. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gets out. 10 seconds left. Now we're in the third period. Now it's who is it? Hilger or Medbury? I'm not sure who.
Medbury.
Medbury. Okay. So then he goes down, but Kassar rides him for over a minute. Then he gets out. So it's technically what? It's tied with the riding time point. So he's up 1. He gets a takedown and rides him the rest of the time.
Nice.
All right.
It's kind of close, but he gets it done.
Now, does he have the flash tat for? Does he have the fake gold chain on, or no?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
That's not the best version of Anthony Kassar. All right. Well,
that's
cool,
the funny
man.
thing is that's actually probably how this match would go, almost to a T. I don't think it would be a huge blowout in either way. I think it would. They both probably score on each other.
I think that this is one of if not the best matchups of the duel. Like not best, but like most swayable.
Tested. Yeah.
I think it could really go either way because I'm sitting here and I'm glad that he used the landmine because I didn't really want to come down to be the last pick. Because in my mind, I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking like Kassar is so athletic and just seeing what he does, he's kind of like a Snyder in that effect of, Snyder really did handle Conor Medbury. Like he didn't destroy him or anything, but he beat him 6-3 in NCAA finals. And so I can definitely see that. But at the same time, I don't know how comfortable I am comparing Kassar to Snyder.
They are training partners, and I would venture to guess that they probably have some pretty good goes in the room.
But they didn't at this time because we're talking peak college
right.
Performances. But yeah, now I would have known which way to go. I probably would have leaned more Kassar. But it's over landmine 3-0. The Nittany Lions are on the board first, and we are going to circle back around to the top and go Nico Megaludis versus Ryan Taylor. So, Sam, you want to start us off and tell us a little bit about Ryan Taylor?
Yeah, so Ryan Taylor was actually a guy that was plagued with injuries throughout his career for the Wisconsin Badgers. He had so because of the injuries, he did not have his full career, but I believe he was a couple-time NCAA qualifier. He was an All-American in 2015, and yeah, he's a really solid guy for the Badgers. And I think he, if I'm not mistaken, he came out of Jeff Jordan's program in Ohio at St. Paris Graham. So yeah, he's a 3-time NCAA qualifier, 2015 All-American.
Awesome.
Kid.
Jordan, do you want to tell us a little bit about Nico? Is he still around the program?
Sure. He wrestles with the Pitt program now, but well, obviously Nico's a goer. He just wrestles like a madman the whole time. He has that high pace, and he moves people around so much and wears them out that he just gets on the legs and finishes. It might take a little while, but he gets it done somehow. But between these two, I mean, I wrestled Ryan Taylor a couple times, actually twice in high school and a couple times in college, and we had some good matches. And he's tough, like he's super explosive. So I think this would be a pretty close match.
Fun fact, I interviewed Nico Megaludis today for the Young Guns virtual training thing, so got to learn a little bit about him today.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. So I mean,
the crazy thing about him, I cannot believe he has a full-time job as a financial planner / advisor, and is still a full-time athlete at the Pitt RTC. That's absolutely insane.
Right. Yep. So
Wow, dude.
I don't know. I think this match would be close. Obviously, I go with Nico because I'm being biased, but Ryan Taylor, I think he'd give him a little bit of trouble for at least the first part of the match if he doesn't get, wore out by Nico.
Right.
Ryan Taylor's hips.
Was he long?
So explosive.
Was he a long guy? Was Ryan long, or was
Not real long, no.
Okay.
He's super explosive, has really good hips. So
well, I'm gonna follow suit. I'm taking Nico Megaludis. The man, like you said, he's a goer, but also he has incredible body control within the scramble, and he can, has a full split that he can go to. Very athletic guy. So I think I'm gonna take Nico here in this match.
The way
Jack,
I
who
see
you got?
this match playing out. Sorry, I gotta interrupt, but I feel like Nico Megaludis, he's very out in the distance. He stays back and shoots far outside singles and stuff. And Ryan Taylor's hips are really, really good, and so he can stop that, down block it. And I see like a reattack. Ryan Taylor's fitting into that single leg, but man, Nico is so tough on those single leg finishes. So he would have to stop it at very shallow grip, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go with Ryan Taylor by fall landmine.
Oh my gosh!
wow.
Back to back for
there they are.
Well, that's it.
All right.
Yikes.
Sam, how could you, dude?
I feel bad because I was just talking to him earlier, but that's it.
Dude, did you seriously just interview Nico today and then turn around and stab him in the back?
No chill.
That is absolutely wrong.
But so the pin here is a attempted single leg from Nico. Lefty, he shoots a lefty this time. And then Ryan Taylor sprawls, goes body cradle, sits it back with like a Sanderson steal kind of thing, Ben Askren move, and locks up a cradle and sticks him. So that's what's happening.
That kind of sounds like what Delgado did in the final.
Yep.
Exactly.
It does.
Funny story about Nico. When I made the U23 team, I got invited to go to the senior world team camp out at like Colorado Springs. And all the senior guys were there, all the juniors, whatever. And I think Nico was the hardest working guy in that room out of everyone.
Very hard worker.
Yeah, he's really hard worker for sure.
Like, Jordan, would you roll with him?
Quit making me feel so bad.
Yeah,
okay?
we wrestled a lot.
Oh man,
a lot the past those 5 years.
Wow. Okay, so I guess we are done with landmines for the rest of this episode. Thank you, Sam.
Now it's easy. Now you made our job easy, Sam. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, screw it then. I guess Andrew Howell doesn't have a chance at another body lock pin. But that would really piss some people off, but whatever. 133 pounds.
Are you gonna do that, Jacob? Were you gonna do that?
Maybe. I had some people really upset about it today, and I might have done it again.
Nice.
I should have let you, though.
No, you would have made me real upset about that one, dude.
I was just scared Jude or Jordan would have landmined. I would have let you do it, man. It would have been all you. All right.
Well,
I would have landmined before that. Are you kidding me?
Either way,
kidding me.
Let's get into this
thing.
Landmine,
Jude?
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't know.
Maybe Kyle Rochelle, maybe Isaac Jordan. I mean, Nolfin Rutherford are pinners, dude. Hey, funny story. Do you guys remember when they were talking about, this was last year on Flow Wrestling Radio Live, they were talking like, man, I don't think Nolf can win the Hodge because he doesn't pin guys. He gets a lot of techs. And then they pulled up his stats and it turned out he had like 23 pins that year so far and like 2 techs.
That's definitely wrong. Yeah.
Because what Nolf does is he scores a lot of points and then he pins you. And so people are, the match ends quick either way, but he makes sure to get that 6. All right. Hey, 1 second. I just got to move the lamp out.
No worries. But let's do 133 now. So looking at 133, what we have set up is Roman Bravo Young for Penn State versus Seth Gross. Actually made a last-second adjustment. He bumped himself to 141 like he did to wrestle Bryce Meredith. We've seen him do it before. So he bumped himself to 141 and slid in Tyler Graff.
Up against Bryce Meredith, he couldn't bump up for this one. So I don't think he realized what followed, like if what it was necessary for him to bump up. I think he took that into mind. Like, man, when HMA Fantasy does this in a couple of years, That's why I got to bump up.
Thanks.
That's the only reason. But okay. We made this lineup, obviously a couple weeks back. I want to get Jordan's take on 133 with RBY, because I think there's an argument to slide Jordan into 133.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I only wrestled Tyler Graff one time. I was able to get the win, but I would say if it was between these two guys, Roman is so athletic. I mean, he's so athletic and he goes the whole time. And Tyler Graff does too, as long as he's feeling fresh and he's not cutting too much weight, because I think that was a big issue for him for a little bit, I don't know. I think it's a close match. It comes down to takedown the third period.
All right. Jack, have you wrestled around with either of these guys?
I wrestled with Roman a long time ago. I was a little bigger than him, a little more mature. But I could tell he was super athletic and gonna be really good. I'm a huge fan of RBY. I've never wrestled with Graff, but I know in freestyle he's got a monster gut. So I'm sure he's strong as an ox.
So my question is this: is RBY going to be able to get Graff moving? Is because where RBY really picks up his scoring is when he's faking, snapping, jumping all around, and he gets like hard to keep track of. So will he be able to move around Graff like that, or it will be Graff?
Not only will he be able to do it, but will he be able to do it for 7 minutes? Because I feel like we've seen him fade sometimes when he does stuff like that. His matches with Sammy Alvarez, he kind of faded because those guys go at it so hard and put so much energy up that they both fade at the end of the matches. And I think that might happen to Roman Bravo Young if he goes all out, like you're saying, with fakes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be like that. I think it'll be a really slow match.
Me too. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit. So like DeSanto, when he wrestles RBY, which is weird, DeSanto's super high paced and sometimes RBY is super high paced.
Right.
But those matches are really slow because RBY's job is to slow him down. And I think we'll get a little bit more of that in this match. But this one's really tight. I think if you had to compare Roman Bravo Young to someone Tyler Graff has wrestled, because obviously they don't have a head-to-head, I'd say Ncaa Garrett is about as close as a style matchup as you can get. And those guys have gone back and forth over the years. I don't think they've wrestled in college, but freestyle scene, international stuff, they've wrestled a bunch and gone back and forth. So it's hard to judge this match. It's going to be really, really tight.
So I'll take a stab at it first. I think, everything you guys said is completely right. The athleticism of RBY is just insane. And he, for me, a big thing that sticks out about RBY is his progression, his jump after year one. Because he was very good year one, obviously. But the beginning of this year, I was thinking, all right, RBY is like really good. He's kind of that tier 2 guy, like, trying to break through, but he's not going to win a title, and then, a little bit into the year, especially when he wrestled Seth Gross, I was like, okay, like this dude can win a title this year. Like he's right there. So I think he made a lot of big jumps. But I'm going with Tyler Graff. Tyler Graff is a 4-time All-American. He got 5th twice and then 3rd and 2nd. He continuously improved every year. And the deciding factor for me is any man that can stare down Tony Ramos in front of thousands of people and not blink has got my vote. So
Tyler Graff is cold, man. I've talked to him. I talked to him at the Scuffle when he was coaching Rutgers.
Oh, was he cold to you at the Scuffle, Sam?
He was focused, but nicest guy, but he was focused.
That stare down was intense. I don't know if you guys remember that.
It
was awesome.
Yeah, that was sick.
Another thing, though, we've talked about this for a couple guys before, but Roman Bravo Young is a true sophomore. He's got another 2, possibly 3 or more years left of college to hit his peak. And he's just not to his peak yet. Roman Bravo Young works extremely hard, and he's been getting better for quite a while, and he's getting better a lot faster. But we haven't seen – like his peak right now is sophomore year, and he's going to get better than that. And so I just don't think his sophomore year can beat Tyler Graff at his peak. So
I 100% agree. That's like if we talk about this again in 2 years, if he keeps going on the trajectory he's going, it's almost 100% going to be the other way for me.
Right.
But right now, it's
with
Tyler Graff for me.
The only reason I think I'm really leaning RBY here is because
I'm a Penn State homer. What?
Because I'm a Penn State homer. But no, so I think Roman actually lines up like stylistically really well against Tyler Graff. And I think that especially in this match, peak RBY is he has the athleticism, he has the movement, and I think he can get to Tyler's legs consistently, and I think he can finish too. The other thing would be that, this year at 133 was, second only to 133 last year, right? Just a really, really tough bracket, especially in that top 4 with DeSanto, Gross, Steve Bass, and RBY. And for RBY to really take himself from, like Jacob said, objectively a second tier, 8th place guy, to shoot himself into the conversation for a title is really admirable. And I think that in this match, I'm going to take Roman Bravo Young. So,
I guess I'll go. So I'm thinking like Graff is really good defense. Took Tony Ramos into double overtime. Has done really well throughout his career, but like we didn't get to see NCAAs, and I think that RBY would have done really well.
Would have, yeah.
And I mean, I keep on going back to, Graff is pretty defensive. He could probably shut him down. And then I think of who's like that, and Mickey Philippi is super defensive.
Yeah,
got anyone down because I worked out with him for a year, and I don't know. I just think that RBY, we didn't really get to see it, like where he was at, kind of. NCAAs really brings out the best in people. I think I'm going RBY on this one.
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
All right.
That boy Jack.
All right. So whose vote are we missing?
Jordan.
Comes down to you, dude.
Well,
This is not good for the Badgers.
well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to go Roman just because
Nice.
I work out with him and stuff. But I think it would go. I think if Tyler Graff would get on his leg, I think there's going to be scrambles like crazy. Like I think it's going to be a close match, but Roman would just scramble. Like Roman's really hard to take down.
Oh yeah.
I think people realize that, but also at the same time, I don't think people do. Like he is really hard to take down. So as long as he's like, he's smart, like, cause sometimes I feel like he gets a little crazy when he's wrestling, but as long as he wrestles smart, he's, his athleticism will probably prevail. So
Roman Bravo Young over Tyler Graff. That's what I like to see.
Y'all are crazy.
It's not crazy, Jacob. It's not crazy.
I
And
was
you have
thinking it'd be a
recency
little
bias.
crazy. I was
We
thinking
got-
it'd be a little crazy.
Hey,
I'm
so
biased.
Jacob,
Two
But
Penn State homers.
Jacob,
yeah, for sure I'm biased. I'm just saying.
Thanks.
I'm not biased.
Tyler Graff is good. Like he's really good too.
Jacob, so
man.
you get to make a decision here as the host. The Twitter poll has Seth Gross, because that was the lineup at the time,
No.
destroying Roman Bravo Young. And then we switched it. So does the Twitter poll count
No.
to tie it? All right.
No.
We're
Nope.
moving on.
You
Please,
played
different-
yourself. Congratulations, Sam.
How did I play myself?
You switched the lineup. You would have had the
I-
Twitter vote.
That was
I
so-
appreciate you trying to help us.
It was an
Sam,
attempt. It was an
it,
attempt.
But if
Nice.
you really wanted to help, you could have saved your landmine.
Okay,
but-
tell me that Ryan Taylor, like, it would have had the same effect, exact same effect.
Whatever. So let's go to 141. 141. This and 165 are arguably the biggest matchups of the duel.
Yeah.
And I didn't know we were going to have this one because Seth just texted in right before and said, "Hey, bump me to 141, slide in Tyler Graff." So I'm excited to talk about this one. I have no idea what I'm going to say.
Oh
You
my
hate Seth
gosh.
Gross, so
I
he's
hate Seth Gross. Seth Gross is my new co-host along with Jack on the podcast. So I definitely do not hate Seth Gross.
Jack, did you hear what Jacob said about about Seth? He said he hated him, dude. He said
Yeah, I heard it.
That was crazy. That's so messed up. I can't believe he would say that.
Yeah, well, get him down here in North Carolina, and I'll whoop up on him.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, camo.
Oh,
Getting after it.
oh,
yeah,
gosh.
bring him down here. But
oh man,
yeah, no, I'd curl up like a baby and cry. But,
nice.
141 pounds, Nick Lee, Seth Gross. This I would really actually love to see this match. Obviously we know the stats of these guys. Seth being a 3-time All-American, made the finals twice, won it once, and Nick Lee on the other end is a 3-time All-American, got one more year left, and him and Pletcher were the guys to beat at 141 this year. So he arguably could have been national champ versus national champ if we didn't get hit by the corona and things went Nick Lee's way. So this would be a super fun matchup. What are you guys thinking? Jack, what are you thinking?
Lots of scoring. Lots of scoring. I'm gonna lean towards Seth only because I don't know. I just haven't seen Nick Lee on like that national champ level. Yeah, I have. I don't know. This is a tough one. This is like the hardest one in the duel for sure. I think I got Seth just because of his stinginess and being able to score late.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm not going to say this with him on here, but Seth just has that way to win matches, man. He's just got that gamer gene or whatever it is. Like so many times this year, watching him with Sebastian Rivera, for instance. Seabass has taken him down, I think 2 times in a row or something. And then all of a sudden Seth just pulls this throw out of his back pocket, out of nowhere. I mean, he just has that gamer gene. And like you said, we have seen Nick Lee kind of on that level. But, we've also seen him, lose to some guy. I mean, not this year. He was awesome this year.
We're taking peak Nick Lee here.
But either way, I don't care. Seth Gross is a gamer. He's going to win this match.
I'm right behind you. Jordan, Jude, Penn State homers. What y'all got?
Jordan, did you ever get a chance to talk about Nick Lee at all?
No. So he's so relentless in his attacks that, but then again, Seth Gross is very scrambly and he'll turn, one shot into a minute-long scramble. So, in a way that kind of goes in Seth's favor, but Nick just, he's kind of like Nico. He just always moving forward. Using his hands, he's really heavy, on people's heads. And, obviously I'm picking Nick Lee, obviously. I think if he could really keep the tempo high enough, he could maybe, get Seth tired and win the match, but it would be a lot of scoring, but it would be close. And I'm going to go with Nick Lee for sure.
I think I'll follow suit. I'll pick Nick Lee. Nick Lee has forever been one of my, he's one of my favorite college wrestlers right now. His high velocity of attacks, his tenacity, and really, pushing the pace the entire match. And also his drive for bonus points. It's so admirable. Especially because, he doesn't look like the guy who would be, number one, just at face value. Right. But for most of the year, it was him and Luke Pletcher side by side. And I believe Nick definitely could have won this national championships. So I'm going to take Nick Lee in this match.
Hey, I'm currently in the middle of texting Seth to tell him that you picked against him.
I'm going to text Seth too and tell him that you specifically said, all right. Listen, I just got a steaming hot take. All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's from
No
Aaron
bonus
Little.
points yet, by the way.
Just from Aaron Little. Well, I don't think any of these matches would really be bonus points. But
Nico might be. Normally, without a landmine,
Ryan Taylor got the pin there. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Okay. Seth barely beat RBY in the dual meet, right? Like it was a very close match. and also Seth lost to DeSanto, so I think that Nick Lee is a tier above both RBY.
Who
and
lost
Austin
to Tristan
DeSanto.
Moran? What if we pulled that on you? You
Listen.
can't pull losses like that. Nick Lee lost to Tristan Moran.
Nick Lee also majored Tristan Moran this year.
Seth Gross also beat up
dude.
Sebastian Rivera and DeSanto and.
Was it this year?
Yes.
I'm talking recent. I'm talking peak guys.
Yes, he beat DeSanto.
Yeah, but he didn't beat up, dude. That was a close match. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
He a close match at Big Ten.
He beat Rivera pretty bad when he lat dropped him.
Gross and Rivera, right?
Wasn't the final score like 8-6?
Yeah, it was like 8-6, but that was like a bunch of escape points and stuff like that. It was a 6-point throw.
That's still points, dude. That's still how the match is scored. I think Nick Lee is a tier above these guys, and I think Nick Lee would beat Seth Gross in a match.
Did you just say that Nick Lee was a tier above Seth Gross?
I think common opponents. I think Nick Lee is beating RBY. I think he's beating DeSanto. And I think, Seth Gross common losses.
Because he did.
He also lost to these guys, dog.
Okay.
Well, I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't matter. I was just making the argument for argument's sake, but
if you want to throw in transitive property things, I don't know if the match has ever happened. But you're talking about, who Seth kind of had close matches and lost and hypothetical matchups. What about if Mičić and Lee wrestle? Who are you taking there? Because that's who Seth beat in the national finals.
That match would be so
pretty handily.
Bad.
So
crushed him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think Seth's peak was this year. I think it was when he won the national title.
I agree. I completely agree.
He's killing everyone.
Hey, to be fair, I don't know actually, was Mičić hurt?
No, that was this year.
Yeah, that was.
But I thought he was hurt at the national tournament. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, that was the year after. Because he was fine when Seth wrestled him. It was the next year when Suriano won the weight class that he hit Suriano in the semis and he was hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
If I'm gonna be completely honest, I think there's so many matchups I would love to see Nick Lee wrestle. Like so many. Like especially a lot of like the upper echelon 133 guys. Like man, like Mičić, Nick Lee, how could you see that going, dude? It would be awesome. It'd be so good.
Hey, just so you know, I just got a text from Seth. He texted me a video of him beating Nick Lee.
When?
It's a freestyle match, but whatever. Either way, he just said messed up, LOL, and sent me the video.
Dang.
And how long ago?
It looks like it was probably like
I'll look it
this.
Also, can I remind you guys of the 2018 NCAA semifinals?
No, it wasn't this year. It's 60 kg, so it might have been like a year ago or something.
2017.
A year ago.
2018 NCAA semifinals at 133.
Which
You
one?
guys know what happened?
There's two of them, Sam.
In 2018, Seth
NCAA
Gross.
finals at 133.
Oh, I thought you said semifinals. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's semifinals too. Mičić beat Luke Pletcher 8-4 and then got destroyed by Seth Gross in the next match. Who's Luke Pletcher? If you want to go transitive property like that and common opponents,
All right,
Pletcher,
dude, going down a rabbit hole that Jordan did not sign up for. So let's go to 149, where there is no landmines left. So Zane Rutherford is not going to get hit with a cement mixer again. Because
that happens.
If Jordan doesn't know, Christian Piles got on the show last time and opened up the duel with a cement mixer over Zane Rutherford. So that can't happen again, unless we all agree on it, I guess. But I'm not.
No.
Or the majority of us.
149, Zane Rutherford versus Kyle Rochelle. Sam, remind us, who is Kyle Rochelle?
Kyle Rochelle is the head coach at University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. I've said this every time, but he was a representative for the United States of America team at the Pan Am Games one year at 74 kg. he was. Let's see. He was a 2009 All-American, 3rd place, and 2010 4th place at 49. So 2-time All-American, top 4. Solid guy for the Badgers. Not their best ever, but very, very solid guy. Not on Zane Rutherford caliber, but a solid guy for the Badgers.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
Conaway.
That,
Tell us about Zane Train.
I mean, he is definitely another hard worker. You know, he kind of a madman like Nico. But I mean, you guys already know how tough he is and how tough he is on top. So I'm going with Zane.
Yeah.
He's just crazy on top, and obviously the later part in his college career, he got a lot better on his feet too. So
Zane is definitely one of the all-timers. I mean, he won 3 titles. He got, what did he get, 5th or something? He kind of he fell down a little bit the first year. But
that year he beat Logan Stieber.
that was his freshman year, I think, too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he redshirted and he came back and he destroyed everybody that stood in his way for 3 years.
Gosh.
He's one of the best to ever do it. And he's one of those guys, you're talking about the top wrestling. When I watched Zane, it was almost like he just took people down just to get into that position on top. It wasn't I mean, obviously that's a pretty obvious thing, but that's where he wanted to live, was just to be on top and just torment and turn and just kill these guys, and he was crazy good on top. That bow and arrow, is that what you guys call it up there?
I call it a bow and arrow.
Yeah. That it was so much fun to watch, and just the pain on people's faces. I'm sorry, but Kyle Rochelle, the bow and arrow is coming for you. I'm borderline major here. I'm thinking maybe major. You're gonna say tech?
Dude, I'll go with that major decision.
I'm saying major decision.
I'm following major decision for Zane Rutherford.
It sounds good to me.
And I'm not saying. I think it's like a 9-1, 10-1 major decision, 8-9 point for me personally, because Kyle Rochelle was great, but same, man, major decision.
Well, 2017 NCAA championships, he teched Maruka in the second, then he teched the next guy, stuck Sorensen in the first period, and then teched in the finals. I just
insane.
Unreal.
He could tech him. He could tech Kyle Rochelle.
Oh, he for sure could.
Unreal.
I go tech. If you guys want to talk about it,
I'm staying with the major.
We're not going tech. We're going major decision. I have respect for Kyle Rochelle.
All right. Sorry, Kyle.
But,
hey, I did a little digging.
I'm just saying, you said he was one of the best.
Right.
Well, Jack has no respect for Kyle Rochelle, so I hope he sees this.
I respect Kyle Rochelle.
But I mean, you just said he'd get teched. Come on, man.
I would get
very realistic.
No, listen, it's not saying very much to say you'd get teched by Zane Rutherford. That doesn't say very much, just because.
Wow. Okay.
Well, no, I mean not you. I mean anyone in general. Just he's just on another level, right? He's incredible. He had the most. What did he have? The most dominant college season of all time, right? His junior season. Is that right?
I don't know. I think maybe David Taylor's sophomore season might have been there. He's talking about bonus points. I think
bonus points.
He only missed 1 bonus point match. I think David Taylor. Maybe it might be the same for Zane actually.
Zane, I think
Spencer could have had it too this year.
Dude, I think Zane walked off the mat.
Yeah, maybe not
early.
Yeah, let's watch the
97% of the matches.
Jack's sitting here going, I would have hit this man in the semifinals. There's no way in hell.
You're like,
he'd have had a L.
You're like, oh man. Hey, I did a little digging. So this match, Seth Gross versus Nick Lee, it was posted in 2016, Junior World Team Trials.
Yeah.
And Nick's in high school.
Seth, yes, Nick was in high school.
Yeah.
Nick was in high school. And Nick was in high school, and Seth had already been wrestling. He was registered under SDS, South Dakota SDSU.
I know what you mean.
That means Seth had already come from Iowa at this point. like you're in the college room. Nick is still a high school kid. All right.
Wait, so you're saying
2016.
that? Are you saying that this was?
I'm saying that this match
was this
does
Iowa
not
Seth?
have any impact on this.
So are you saying this is Iowa Seth? Because Iowa Seth is even a complete different animal from South Dakota State. So if you want to argue
all I'm saying is
that Nick Lee was not as good, well, Seth wasn't as good at that point. So
I'm saying
we already picked on that match.
Well,
all I'm saying is this doesn't really like help Seth's argument here because they were, Nick was a high school kid at the time.
You're right. It doesn't really matter.
All right, it doesn't matter. The duel's over. We'll continue.
But head-to-head matches don't mean that much either.
All right, fair. It's fun to talk about though. All right.
Okay.
157 pounds. Jordan Conaway. Let's kick it to you. Tell us about Jason Wolf, please.
As many of you guys know, he's very unorthodox. Goes really hard, just like a lot of Penn State guys, because that's, what we're taught. But he just, I don't know, he's so creative in his attacks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going Jason Nolf. I think he majors Isaac Jordan.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, no, I think unless I'm getting people mixed up, maybe Zane. Maybe it was Zane that wrestled him. Didn't he tech him? Or is that Zane? That was Zane.
You would have probably really
in a dual meet at Ohio State. I think it was either Zane or
no.
Nolf.
You're thinking of Micah Jordan.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right.
This is a different Jordan. That was Ohio State.
There's like
this
three
is
of them.
the Jordan that wrestled Deringer in the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I'm still cool with Major though. I think Isaac.
I did pin Jason Nolf one time of note.
All right. Tell the story, Sam. If you're gonna
I've
start
told
saying
it before, but it's kind of crazy. But so Jason Nolf, a Young Guns wrestler, obviously. I do a lot of Young Guns stuff, and I was at a camp of theirs one time, and at all of Jason Nolf's camps, or at least the Young Guns ones, he has like a dance off, and he has like a competition for dancing or whatever in between the techniques he teaches. And so I don't know, I'm not a dancer at all, and I'm a wrestler and I can't dance, but I did it and I won somehow. But the deal was, he said, if you get to the finals, you have to go against me. And then when I made the finals, he said, you know what, it's a wrestling match, not a dance off. So I was like, all right, cool. Stuck him in a cradle, and then took my ankle bands off, imaginary ankle bands, and put them on the imaginary line. It was great.
Yeah, that's his OCD.
That's awesome.
Oh man, awesome. Well, Sam, did you tell us about Isaac Jordan?
No, he's what is it? 3-time All-American for.
Yeah,
he was a 4-time All-American.
4-time All-American,
sure?
1-time finalist.
Yep.
Right?
Didn't he get
4-time
hurt
All-American.
that year, though?
4-time All-American.
He was a 4-timer.
I must have okay. And for some reason, I thought he got hurt his junior year and couldn't wrestle. I must be thinking of someone else.
No, he's a 4-time All-American. He was a national finalist
against what's his name?
Deringer.
Alex Deringer, yeah. You know, it's funny looking him up. I always look at the his bio on Wisconsin when I look up stats for him, and on there it asks like why Wisconsin. They have like some funny stuff where they ask him questions and stuff, and he literally just put Barry Davis. Period. That's all he said. Why Wisconsin? Barry Davis.
Yeah. That's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Well, I'm taking Jason Wolf.
Decision or by major?
Major decision. Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah, major decision.
Kidding me.
I'm following suit. Major.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm taking away my major.
Yeah, you think?
I don't think. No, I think it'd be closer than that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
I'm going North by decision.
Yeah.
Isaac Jordan was very, very good, but I'm afraid we've outnumbered it.
I think if Nolf had to get bonus points, I think he would get it.
He could.
It is a close dual meet right now.
How would he get bonus points?
You got to think Casey's like, hey man,
turn him.
We need you to get the points.
Yeah.
I got
a. He gives up points sometimes trying to do that.
I got a question real quick.
How would he do it?
So the FRL guys, I think they're talking either today or yesterday, but Nolf was in one of the matches they were talking about, and they kind of talked about how his trajectory that freshman to sophomore year was just skyrocketed. And he, like, from where he was against Imar to that next year, he just destroyed people. And then they said that they felt like it kind of tailed off, and like he didn't really make a whole lot of jumps after. He was just that good and beat that many people. I wanted to know, what do you guys think about that? And Jordan, what do you think?
I think that happens. I think that happens for everyone after their freshman year. Almost every wrestler, they get like substantially better once they're in college after a year.
I don't think that I agree with him, because they kind of made it seem like he like leveled off. And
I don't think he leveled off. No, I don't agree with that.
As a high level wrestler, especially like Jason Nolf in today's world, a guy gets scouted and stalled on so much.
Yeah, he saw it against Hidley. Not the stalling part, but the scouting part for sure.
Yeah.
Their argument was the Hidley match, pretty much, like, because they were saying like a couple of guys, hung with him tighter, and I think really only Hidley did. And I think Hidley's just
hang with him, kind of.
No, not really. I if anything, I think that it's the exact same argument that guys get a lot better after their freshman year. Right. And so I think Hidley was chasing Jason Nolf. And when you're training for one guy, it's a lot easier to catch that one specific guy. And he was a hair away too. And I don't think that's because Nolf got worse. I think that's because Hidley got better. Obviously it's hard to keep the same level of growth, right? It's hard to maintain that almost straight up curve that Nolf had.
Yeah. I got a few things on that for sure. Hidley's got that annoying body type where he's kind of short and stocky. Those people are hard to score on.
Facts.
Also, if you're training for one person like he was, you're going to do a lot better. And then that freshman year of growth, like, it's because in high school, like, you're doing everything you can and stuff, right? But like a college preseason and a college like weight room will like transform you. So I wrestled Joey Dance in the duel, and he measured me, and he beat me up pretty good. And then I wrestled him in nationals, and I beat him. So like, everyone makes those insane jumps their freshman year. So I mean, yeah, you can go and look at everyone for that.
Yeah, I think also personally, we saw the Nolf Hidley final match, and it was a good match. Nolf kind of controlled it, but it really was a good close match. It was either 4-2 or 6-2. And then when we saw it again, the controversial match people want to talk about, I don't think that it was like they weren't saying that he got worse. They were just kind of saying that he didn't make as many jumps. I don't think that's the case. I think that when he hit Hidley that second time, he knew how good this dude was, and he gave him a little bit more respect than, maybe he was with the other guys. Not that he wasn't respecting other guys, but he didn't let it fly as much because he knew this guy's dangerous. Yeah.
And I think, like I said, partly guys scout a lot, and it's not easy, but it gets a lot easier to slow somebody down significantly. And when you slow somebody down that goes out there full throttle looking to score, you can frustrate them a little bit. And I think that's kind of what happened to Nolf. Like, when he wrestles guys, he dominates them, and he scores a bunch of points. But when people kind of hold on to him and squeeze and are sticky and neutral, like, he can't really take them down, it's hard for him to keep that same groove to keep going. And when guys kind of stall it out or game plan, Hidley's underhooks and Imar's underhooks are awful for Nolf, stylistically speaking. And so I think game planning and everything like that ties into it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, I've been swayed. I'm not going bonus point on this one.
Sam.
Flaky. Y'all are flaky.
Sam. Come on. You don't think that if Jason Nolf needs bonus points,
how would he do
you don't
it?
think he can go
how
get
would
it?
he do it?
Via Winn-Dixie.
Overtie snap.
He cannot turn him.
He gets shot. He can shoot into, he can go from turns into transition. Sorry, take down to turn, right? He can transition, chain wrestle.
But so can everybody, man.
All right. We're getting in another rabbit hole, and I want to talk about 165.
Oh, boy.
So 165, we have David Taylor in the starting lineup for Penn State. fortunately, as Jude forgot to put him in the first time around.
Yeah.
We were talking about the
Funny.
Jordan needs to know this. We're talking about, the all decade lineups, and we split them up, and some people made some and some others. Well, of course we gave Jude Penn State because he's such a Penn State fan and he lives real close. And so he turned in the lineup, and I was like looking at it and I'm like, no way. And I sent it back to him. I go, dude, did you forget anybody? And he's like, no. It's like, look again. And he's like, oh crap. Like, he left David Taylor out of the lineup. And not only is that like a sin as a Penn State fan, but he's your coach, man. He is your coach.
They're both 4-time finalists, 2-time NCAA champions.
You see this man like every day.
I put Vincenzo.
Yeah, it was Vincenzo.
Who, nothing to sneeze at. Vincenzo Joseph, pretty good, but
right.
You know what? But it was a poor mistake. I overlooked my David Taylor.
But I just looked it up, like we were talking about earlier. David Taylor, his senior year, went 35-0 and only had 2 decisions on the year. So he had 33 bonus point wins. It was a 94.26 bonus percentage. The only guy that he didn't bonus was Caldwell, that he hit in the finals, and he hit one other time. Right. I mean, he's just insane. But anyways, we all know David Taylor, right? 4-time finalist, 2-time champ.
We really don't need to give stats on these guys. Everybody knows Andrew Howe.
World champ. Andrew Howe, we know him too, national champ. I mean, what are you guys thinking? Let's start off. Jordan, what are you thinking?
David, just his attacks on his feet are just so good. He likes his ankle picks. I'm gonna, David Taylor, I'm gonna pick him, but I think it's a decision. I don't think there's any bonus points. It'd be similar to like the Caldwell match, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I would agree. Oh, man.
Yeah, no. I definitely agree with that.
These two hitting freestyle too.
Yeah.
DT coming out.
They hit a lot.
That's right.
So David pretty much, I think he won every single match they hit, and they hit a lot. Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah.
But he was just a transcendent talent in an offensive manner, right? This dude, I don't know if we're ever going to see a guy that was this just offensively talented and gifted, and just he was so much fun to watch, and just the ankle picks, and just I don't know. I mean, he's got to be one of the best of all time on his feet.
Evidently,
college.
He's gonna murder Jude too.
Oh yeah,
as seen on Twitter.
Yeah, so they had this. I saw Sam tweeted like, "Oh, your wallpaper is gonna kill you."
I didn't tweet
or whatever.
That. Someone else tweeted it. Yeah.
Someone else tweeted it like, "Oh, your wallpaper is gonna kill you." Who is it? And Sam had Yanni Diakomahalis, and so I retweeted the same. And my wallpaper is good old David Taylor. Not a way I would like to go, by the way. I death by DT is probably not on my list.
Yazdani about experienced that.
Wait, I don't understand. Why is he gonna kill you?
It was just a tweet like asking who's your wallpaper and throwing some liveliness into it.
It's fun.
All right. Well, David Taylor, Andrew Howe. Andrew Howe's a freaking beast, man, and he's hard to score on. But peak college for both of these guys, I agree that it's a super close one. I think I'm not going to go major here, but I'm going to go like almost there, right? Like a 7-2.
So not a super close one.
Yeah, I'm saying like 7-2, somewhere in that range, but like teetering on it, but it's not going to now. I'm going to get regular decision.
All right, I'll follow suit. David Taylor, Magic Man, ankle pick, wizard.
Absolutely. Stan, put our checks.
All right, I think we're all going in favor of David Taylor.
Jack, who you got?
Yeah, I'll go David Taylor, and I'll say it. I'll say he majors him.
I'll follow suit, dude.
Tough, man.
Howe's awesome. He's sweet, but I mean, David Taylor is he's on another level of anyone,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, for sure.
Jordan. What do you got? You got DT?
Yeah. Yep. Decision.
All right. So I want to ask Jordan this question because you're the first Penn State guy we've had on here. We've kind of brought up this last or this kind of like three guys here a couple of times, because when we originally made the lineups, we had Mark Hall 74, Ed Ruth, and then Bo Nickel. And we got into the first episode, and for whatever reason, all of us just completely slipped Quentin Wright out of our mind. I don't know how that happened. So he was, we ended up putting on here, kind of / Quentin Wright. But, a couple of times it's been thrown around that maybe the best lineup per se could have been Ed at 74, then Bo, then Quentin. What do you think? Do you like it like this, or would you rather it be like shaken up somehow?
I think I like it like this. Just because Quentin Wright had an amazing career, and he's really good, but he's had some like rocky seasons, like up until the big show. He just got better as the season went, every single season. So if this was like a dual meet that happened,
we're taking prime
January, just have fun. I don't know if he would wrestle as well as if it was the national finals.
Yeah, because he was like a 10 seed or something in Big Tens one year.
Yeah,
and he
obviously he did really well, but he just would just wouldn't show up sometimes. I don't know, or he just was whatever.
I think his I don't know if you guys have heard it. I've had a lot of downtime recently, and I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. But on the Bash Mania podcast, Quentin Wright was on there, and that's probably one of my favorite shows on his to listen to. So I would definitely give it a listen.
Quentin is awesome. Like, I highly suggest you guys, like, I don't know, you gotta talk to Quentin Wright at least once in your lifetime. Dude. Real relaxed, real down to earth. He has a club pretty close to my house, like maybe 45 minutes away, up in West Branch.
Awesome. Well, it was funny because
real nice guy.
I'd obviously watched him on TV. I was a big fan. I loved watching him growing up, but I listened to the podcast, and he gets on there and I didn't know anything about him. He starts talking about how his family raised deer. I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's just go to it. 174, Mark Hall, Ryan Christiansen. Jude, Mark Hall, you put his name on there. So tell us about him.
At 174? I'm confused. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Did you forget what?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I was. There was just a lot of shuffling around. Okay.
He didn't move. He was on the same weight for 4 years, Jude.
Mark Hall. Let me tell you about this guy. You haven't heard about him. All right. 3-time national finalist, 1-time champ, 2 losses to Zahid Valencia. He was in the running with it this year with Michael Kemmer. Very good chance of winning. He beat him in the Big Ten finals. And man, he's also in high school.
Jude, Dyson Gould wants to know who won in the duel.
The dual meet was won by Michael Kemmer. Michael Kemmer is an incredible wrestler as well. We'll talk about him later. But Mark Hall. I just
had to return the message for Dyson.
That's really cool. I'm really glad you guys like doing that. All right.
Jude, follow-up question. Right. What is Mark Hall's record in Carver?
It's 0-2, Jacob, but this duel is not in Carver Hawkeye.
Make sure.
But all right. So Mark Hall also won 3 age level championships, I'm pretty sure, and had an incredible college career until it unfortunately came to a close here. So let me kick it back to you, Sam Herring. Tell us about my man, Ryan Christiansen.
All right. So Ryan Christiansen is a 3-time qualifier. I don't think he ever All-Americaned. Or no, he's a 4-time NCAA qualifier. I don't think he ever All-Americaned. But he was pretty close every time he went, and not on Mark Hall's level. I think the only way he could win is a landmine. So it's not happening.
Yep, there's none of those left.
Yeah, you got it done.
I'm gonna say Mark Hall by major. Mark Hall's not a tech guy, and he does pin people, but it's not as like it doesn't happen all the time, and it's usually in one of the the bigger moves. And so I'm gonna go major decision here.
Dude, I'd say he could pin him. He catches that underhook off of a Christiansen shot, grabs the chin, rolls him in an old fashioned twister.
absolutely could, but I'm saying like he's not he wasn't ever the guy that just like pinned all the dudes that were like not on his level, right? He did like obviously beat up on him, but what are you, Submit Mixer? LOL. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go major decision. Jack, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mark. Unbelievable wrestler. I don't know, like, man, I think that he should have been more than a one-time champ. Just because of how hyped he was coming out of high school. I'd like to like know why he wasn't, to be honest.
The Heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
You asked the question. You asked the question. I gave an answer.
The Heat coronavirus.
The Heat and the coronavirus. Yes, absolutely.
The Heat and the coronavirus.
Jack and Jordan, I want to hear your guys' take on the NWCA All-American where they announce these guys as first team and second team All-American, and whether you think that has weight and whether we should regard these guys as All-Americans or not. Jack, what do you think?
Jack's an All-American.
I mean, I'm down with it because I got one.
Yeah.
Like, 3-time All-American sounds a lot better than 2, in my opinion. Also, like, I was striving for it. Like, I worked for it. It sucks that I didn't get to prove it, but at the end of the day, I mean, maybe don't give it to half the guys in the tournament.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I was in the top 8, so I got a first team, whatever. I'll take it.
Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think since the tournament didn't happen, I mean, why not? What else can you really do?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I think it's good. Everyone was working hard. It was a week out when all this happened. So everyone was working hard and everyone qualified, pretty much everyone wants the All-American, the NCAA champion. So
I'm just glad we got the brackets.
Anything.
I'm glad we got the brackets this year, man.
Yeah. I personally think that it's definitely a good thing. I know that a lot of people have different opinions on it, but like Jack said, these guys worked their butt off all year. And I think that it's good and we pride ourselves on being a sport that earns it, for sure. But when that opportunity is literally taken from you, you can't earn it. Then I'm okay. It's not a consolation prize. A lot of other sports just give them out just based off of voting or whatever. I think that's kind of a consolation thing, but these guys worked hard for it. They worked to earn those seeds. I'm with Jack though. Like I do feel like maybe just the top 8, and I hate saying that because there's always guys that come out in All-American and it sucks for that reason. But I mean, it ended up being half the bracket, like you're saying. And it a guy got honorable mention All-American and he can say just, I was an All-American, and like he was, but there's levels to this. And
if I'm with Jack too on that. Like you said, we're an earn it sport and people forget the rest of the season. Like you guys competed since November. It's not just you literally missed out on 3 days of the season.
I've got a little bit to say about that too. Is a 5-month season really worth it? Like who's going to watch the Opens every weekend in November? Who's doing and
obviously there's a big difference between those 3 days and the 5 months before it. But you guys, like, the All-Americans did earn it. And so there's a line between earning it at NCAAs and earning it in the rest of the season. But when it comes down to it, you can't say that you didn't earn that All-American, because in the long run, you guys did compete for a whole season and the All-Americans did well.
And also I think the big deal too is that like the way that the seating is done for the tournament, it's not just like, it's not like high school where you get in there and they just kind of like talk about it and like have a seating meeting. Like there's actual, criteria and reasons these guys got the seeds they got, right? It wasn't like some dudes got in a room and talked about it. And this guy is, I think he's better than this guy, transitive property, beat it, whatever. It's like, here's records, bonus points, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we also had conference tournaments as well.
Yeah.
That was at least that was good. So, all right.
Bonus points for Markle all around?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
Made a decision.
All right, cool.
All right, so 184 pounds. We are going to have Ed Ruth versus a decision here for Wisconsin. Who are we breaking out, Sam?
Ricky Robertson would be good. That name might help out against Ed Ruth.
It's not Ricky Bobby, so he's not going to win.
He could be Ricky Bobby. You just shorten the last name. It's Ricky Bobby, like that.
Oh.
But we'll go Travis Rutt.
Travis Rutt was an All-American. Ricky Robertson was not, I believe.
No.
So a good
But
decision, Travis Rutt.
It could have gotten him an All-American. You never know.
True. Ain't first or last, baby.
Right.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter who steps on the mat. You got Ed Ruth on the other side. Jordan, you want to tell us a little bit about Ed? Was he around the program when you were there?
Yeah. I was here for a couple of years his last couple of years. I mean, he's kind of like Nolf. I think like they remind me of each other a little bit, just both unorthodox. He's just kind of a crazy dude, but I think he cradles and pins him because his cradle is really good.
Against Travis Rutt, yeah, I think you could definitely pin Travis Rutt, dude. Yeah, Ed is a transcendent creative talent, dude. Man, I was watching some Ed Ruth highlights, and just the way he moves and the way that he can find ways to score is just, it's like no other, dude. It's like no other. I don't know.
If he wants to.
I think that's the big thing.
I mean, do you remember watching him when he's kind of like just taking his time?
Yeah.
I mean, he did that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just like, I don't know what he's doing. Like he
just didn't. Time. Yeah. Well, I think part of it, sometimes he liked to play with the guy, but the other part was like, he's like, I don't see the point in having to go do this. And it's weird. Like, I mean, was he really chasing the Hodge as much as David was? Because like David was going out every single match and trying to, end the match early, whereas it seemed like Ed definitely didn't have the bonus, the bonus point percentage that David Taylor had. Even though like talent wise, like that's an all time conversation who would win in their peak, but it was a different, I guess maybe a mentality.
Did you get to watch those guys wrestle in the room at all?
Well, here's the thing, like all the years I've been here, there's a lot of, good matchups in the room, but I hardly get to see them because I'm wrestling at the same time. I do sometimes, like if we have, a day where we're doing matches or something, then yeah, but I honestly don't remember those two wrestling. I'm sure they did, but I didn't really get to see it too much just because I was wrestling. But
yeah,
I must have been freestyle that one time.
Really?
Yeah. DT teched him.
Teched him, yeah.
Yeah, tech fall.
I think freestyle is a different animal too, and obviously, DT kind of committed his life to freestyle, and Ed, not as much. So, I mean, he made a world team, right? But yeah, I don't know. I think it's different freestyle wise. But we are talking about Ed Ruth and Travis Rutt. I'm going to go the same with Jordan. Ed Ruth decks him.
I think so. I vote pinfall, dude. I think in this like peak Ed Ruth, there's not much that Travis Rutt could do. Or Ricky Bobbyson.
Ed Ruth is currently number 6 on the Penn State all-time pins list with 46 pins.
That's a lot.
The only guys ahead of him are, in order, David Taylor, Josh Moore, Zane Rutherford, Bo Nickel, and then Jason Nolf at the top.
Wow. That is a tough
and
5.
Right below him, Mark Hall, Quentin Wright.
It's ridiculous. All right. Crazy. So I guess we go to 197 now.
Oh, everybody's for pin? Or who's for pin?
I don't think anyone's ever moved like Ed Ruth. The only person that I can think of is like in basketball, like Magic Johnson. Like the fluidity in his movements and his mystery.
So different.
It's unbelievable. It's awesome to watch. 10.
Right.
I remember the like green hair that one year.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. He's a crazy dude. He just like he's so like easygoing is like the best way I describe him. Like he just it sometimes seems like at times he didn't care.
Almost.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's a really cool dude. But yeah, now he's fighting, so he's doing that now.
I actually got to watch one of his fights the other day. I was at the state tournament and came back to the hotel with my other coach, and we're sitting on the couch, like nothing to do at all. And we're snowed in too. And it doesn't snow a whole lot in North Carolina. And for some reason, like everybody got to state and it just like came down. But yeah, we turn on the TV, just like click it on, and it's like Ed Ruth fighting somebody. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to be able to watch him.
He was doing pretty good, in his early part of his career, but I think the past couple of fights he lost. I think he went down in weight or something, but hopefully we'll figure it out. I don't really watch a lot of fighting, but I think he needs to go up. I think he's like cutting too much weight, or just he's not as like explosive maybe as he was, but hopefully he figures it out.
He definitely looked like skinny.
Different, yeah. He looks different. So
for sure.
All right. Well, I guess we go to 197.
Man, did we just unanimously pin somebody on an all-decade team?
Oh no, Travis Rutt, buddy.
I'm sorry, Travis Rutt, but it's Ed Ruth.
It might happen again.
It happened.
Yeah.
It's not happening again.
It could.
All right. Anyways, last match of the duel, 197 pounds. Bo Nickal / Quentin Wright versus Trevor Branwell. Jordan, I guess we'll let you make this decision. Who are we sending out at 197 for the Nittany Lions?
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but if this is like a dual meet middle of the year, I think Bo Nickal for sure is wrestling. If it's at the end of the year, then I think Quentin could be out there.
So it's peak. Both of them.
What's that?
It's both of their peak. You have to take into consideration.
I'm gonna go with Bo. I think his last year or two, I just feel like he was just on a completely another level. And obviously he's a big time pinner, so I'm going with him for a fall.
Remember when he pinned Colin Moore in like 20 seconds at the most hyped duel of the year?
And the same thing to Miles Martin and
so that's why I go with Bo. No disrespect to Quentin. Obviously his all-time peak.
Sam.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, don't put that on Miles Martin like it's the same thing. He wrecked Colin Moore in that match. Miles Martin got in on a sick double leg and just got crazy Bo Nickal.
I didn't say it's the same thing. I said he pinned him very quickly in a very hyped match. So
yeah, but I want to point out it was not the same.
He went from his back to being on top. A little different.
Doing that move since he was 6.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what we do.
Whatever. Yeah, that was awesome, but that was a sick shot by Miles, and he did everything right.
He did.
I mean,
against almost anyone else in the entire weight class, that would have been dead to right score. Bo was on his back. Bo bellies down and then goes back to it.
Yeah, he baited him big time.
Oh
and
my God!
Miles just climbed too high. He had him, man. He could
have been a couple swipes too.
Yeah. But we got Sam telling us about Trevor Branwell. Do you want to tell us a little bit about him?
Sure. He's a 2-time All-American. I believe he took second. No, he took 4th and 6th. Was ranked number 2 all year, one of his years. I can't remember which. Pretty much all year long, he was ranked number 2 behind a real stud. I keep forgetting who it was, but
was that around Varner time? Maybe?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. Dang, why can I not remember this?
No, I don't think it is. Actually, it's 2010, 2011. I can't remember who that was. But I mean, it might have been Quentin Wright time. I don't think Quentin was.
Around his time.
Yeah, but
Dustin Kilgore won it that year.
Okay. For me, you guys are kind of getting ahead of yourself for me. I think Trevor Branwell was a lot better than you're giving him credit for,
So
Sam.
You got Branwell.
I don't have Branwell winning the match, but I am not going to pick Branwell to get pinned. Absolutely not. And I think Bo Nickal pins almost everybody, but Branwell was, like you're saying, he's a 2-time All-American. He won the Big Ten twice. He was a dude, right? The guy was good. And I don't
So is Miles Martin.
It's
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
whatever.
Let him finish, Sam.
It's a Bo Nickel major for me.
Whoa.
I'm not going more than that.
Whoa.
It's
I'm
a
not
close
going more.
match, dude. He pinned Patrick Brucky.
Did I say close? I said a major. That could be 14 to 1.
That's a close match for Bo Nickel.
Shush.
Okay.
Come on. I'm going
No.
major. I'm going major too.
I mean, let's think. The Iowa match that was pretty big. Bo pinned.
Sammy Brooks.
Oh,
Yeah. Then the Oklahoma State, he pinned. Was it Boyd?
Okay.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
big
Bo.
matches, he
All right.
pinned almost every single, even if they're good
Well,
guys.
Brooks.
Also,
20.
you guys want to bring up the Colin Moore match. What about the finals? That was a decision. Right?
This is a
So
debate,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, I'm with you, Jacob. I've got a major.
I'm not taking
Bo
taking
Nickel, don't argue with me. Bo Nickel could very well pin Trevor Branwell, couldn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah.
all we need to hear. Then that's
absolutely.
Why are we
could.
arguing about this?
But no.
It's fun.
No. When I make my pick, I don't pick off of something that could happen, right?
Yeah, and
Any
I'm
of
with
these
you.
any of these Wisconsin
Win
guys
State.
could pin Win State, whatever. Any of these Wisconsin guys could pin the other guys. It could happen. People catch people, right? It could happen. But I'm going off of what's most likely to happen and what would happen like statistically the most times. And I got major.
All right.
What about you, Jack?
I got Bo by Penn because
Oh.
not everyone can catch everyone. When Bo pins people, he doesn't catch them.
No,
Not
no,
a
he
catch.
doesn't.
He's a pinner. He pins everyone.
Yeah.
And he's from Texas, so I gotta
Nice.
over there.
Dude, we are all about loyalty here on Home at Advantage Wrestling Podcast. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it, right? Everyone gets their votes in, and I mean, final score. Is the consensus Bo by pin, Bo by major? What are we saying?
I'm not going pin, Jack. Not going pin.
Does it have to be unanimous?
So if we collect, no, it has to be majority. So Jude takes,
Pin.
Jordan takes.
Pin.
All right, so it's a pin.
Nice. Yes. Look at that, dude.
Whoa, Jacob took it down.
He left.
He's gone.
Before we keep going, would y'all take Gable or Paris to win it next year?
Ooh.
Because we got into it at our podcast.
Hey, 32-9 is the final score, by the way. So Jacob took it away, but that was the final score.
Jeez, landslide by Penn State. All right.
I quit.
Yeah, okay. Mason Paris or Gable Stevenson next year. Who are you taking, Jacob?
Oh, are you seriously going to get into this?
Yeah.
I'm getting into it.
You want to get into this? Oh,
Why
okay.
did you leave, Jacob? Jacob, why did you leave?
Because no.
They kicked him again. All right, Sam, tell us about Gable Stevenson and Mason Paris. Who are you picking in this match?
Gable Stevenson.
Thank you.
Sam, quit kicking me out.
It's got to be.
I kicked you once,
Gable.
man.
No, man. We're not. That's not part of this duel. Don't let Jack get this crap.
It's Gable.
Into
It's
this.
Gable
No,
Stevenson.
no. We're arguing that.
Gable.
Come on. Okay, let me have Jacob one-on-one.
Okay,
Let's go,
listen.
come on.
Not now.
What we did, and everybody listening, it's gonna be posted the next day or two. We had to split it up, but we made our preseason predictions. Right? Predictions are our guess at who's going to end up on the top of the podium at the end of the year. It's not who's the best guy in the weight class. It's not all these other things. It's who I think is going to end up at the top at the end of the year. It's not who's the best
So
right
what, did
now.
Mason Paris shove Gable Stevenson off the podium and step up, or how is that not the best wrestler? Explain yourself.
Listen.
The reason they have a tournament is so we can find who the best wrestler is.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me to listen either.
My argument or my thing is Mason Paris from freshman to sophomore year just absolutely went from not even All-Americaning to hanging with Gable Stevenson and the clear number 2 guy in the nation. It was a gigantic jump, right? It was one of the biggest jumps, 1 year jumps that I've seen in the last, since I've been following. And if he continues with that trajectory, I think he's going to beat Gable.
I don't think you can maintain the trajectory.
Listen, even with the trajectory, I'm not saying he beats Gable every time. I'm saying if he keeps with it, it's going to be a close match that could go either way. It was super close this year.
All right.
And I think if he continues to jump, it's going to be right there. And I'm going to give it to my man, Mason Paris, because I love watching the dude wrestle. And I'm pulling for him. And he's going to do it. And next year, when he beats Gable in the finals, I'm going to get back on here and I'm going to crap talk you guys all night long.
Man, I don't.
If there's a season.
If there's a season.
If there's sports.
Well, hey, dude, I was listening. There's a pretty good chance they'll move it to like whatever, like a spring sport. They'll do it in the spring.
I saw that they're voting on it.
I think that's a good idea.
I'd be okay with that, actually.
Right, y'all look at the screen. You ready?
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
What we were talking about, what we think is going to happen, our predictions, right? Mm-hmm. Is this the future?
Oh my goodness.
No, it is not.
That was a pretty takedown,
wasn't it? Okay, so are you saying that head-to-head matches, this argument would mean that head-to-head matches should never count?
I didn't say that. Once again, I made a prediction on what's going to happen in the future. Okay. Thank you. All right. At least you might not even pick Gable, but you can understand what I'm saying. Or might not even pick Paris.
You're saying because that match is in the past and the match that I'm predicting is in the future, then we can't take that into consideration?
Dude, I just took it into consideration. Did you hear me that I said how close of a match it was this year?
Yeah, it was. But then when I played that match, you were like, no.
You played one takedown. There was a takedown from Mason Paris in that match. Do you want to play that takedown? I can pull that up.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, my God.
We got to wrap this recording up. It's gone too long.
Whatever. All right. So I don't even know what the final score was because it's not up on the screen anymore.
It's 32-9.
9, yeah.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be 32 because that's ridiculous. But 32-9, I guess. Penn State is into the finals, and they will receive the winner of Ohio State and Iowa. And that matchup is going to be happening very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a great one.
It's not going to be on.
We have some very, very awesome guests lined up for it. Sam, do we want to tease who our guests are?
No.
Tease, 2 coaches.
2 coaches. Ooh, 2 coaches. And that's why I can't be on. But thank you so much to our very special guests who came on today, Jack Mueller and Jordan Conaway. Thank you for being available. And thank you guys for just being down to talk about some wrestling. You guys are definitely awesome people. And, if you guys want to plug anything, go ahead right now or not. It don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. This has been fun. Not really, don't know a lot about wrestling other than me wrestling. I'm kind of more of a casual fan, I guess. So hopefully I had some input since I'm still here in State College with, the Penn State guys. So
fantastic.
No, sure, man. You were great. We appreciate you coming on. And Jack Mueller, thanks so much. 20 minutes notice and you were on.
Yeah, I was about to watch the NBA 2K League, so this is much better. But yeah, check out our last podcast. It's on podcast, the app now.
Yep, for sure. And if you would have picked 2K over us, there would have been issues there.
Off the team. You're out of here.
There would have been a whole lot of issues. You're like, no, I can't talk wrestling, guys. I'm watching basketball. That would have been a problem. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us here. Make sure you tune into the next episode where we'll have Iowa versus Ohio State. And then, like Jack said, listening to our last episode, it was a lot of fun catching up with Jack and Seth, getting started with the new crew for HMA Fantasy. But thanks again. We look forward to seeing you next.